Yeah. You work at the Home Park, LA Walgreens? Huh? I've seen you 20 times before I have this class. Oh. You're always like, this dog. No. That was so nice. You're just like, I didn't know I looked like that. Well, now I know I look pissed off. I don't need to walk around like an idiot with a smile on my face all the time. I didn't know that. I'll have to correct that. All right. I think I got everything going right now. Yeah, I'll have to go to the Walgreens because that's one of my favorite places to go is Walgreens. It's kind of like Walmart. You walk in, buy Q-tips, and you leave with $700 worth of stuff. Yeah. I mean, Walgreens has it fixed. If you look around for too long, you'll leave for. And that's why they do the prescription. Just wait 15 minutes for your prescription. Yeah, you're gonna walk around the store and have $700 worth of stuff. It's marketing 101. All right, we start a new section, but let's go make fun of people who did low on the test. Let's go do that. Let's see. Where is my Labs Plus? Y'all are 103. Course Tools, great book. Let's make fun of people who made low on the test. Class average on the second test. Was it the second test? Oh, it's not too bad. 86, but how much of it's... Oh, nobody's taking it. Okay. Only like 4 people have taken it. When's it due? Today. Yeah. Wait till the last minute. Oh, and look, it's cloudy outside, so go ahead and wait till, let's see, what time? 11 o'clock tonight. Yeah, wait till 11 o'clock and then take it. Because what will happen? Lightning storm. Go ahead and wait. Y'all suck. There's an incomplete. A week to take the test, and I still have incompletes. Y'all gonna have to explain that to me one day. Oh yeah, I forgot. 3 dead grandmothers, 5 flat tires. I'm sorry. I don't know. I keep forgetting about those 5 flat tires. All right, what chapter is the business section in, Mr. Haskell? 4, chapter 4. And what do we go through? All of them or just?
I think it was all of them. I don't have it remembered, but I think it was
all the way through? I don't think we do F, do we? Okay. What I want to do today is I want to go through and pull up all the stuff that's important. Because there's about 4 or 5 formulas before we get to income tax. There's about 4 or 5 formulas that you're going to have to learn, and you're going to have to learn them well. And not only learn them well, you're going to have to learn them in your how to use your calculator. So you need to bring your calculator. TI-83 or better is best because you can do everything on the screen. If you have a TI-30, that'll work fine, but you're going to have to work in steps. So when we get to the amortization and the savings formula, you're going to need your calculator because half of the problem is being able to use your calculator. Okay? And why is it just pulling up? I need you to pull up. Let's go. I'm not going to go through the first unit, the first section, because that's a lot of insult your intelligence, and I'm not going to do that. Yeah, half this book is insult your intelligence. I think y'all know what a bill is. I think y'all know what a debt is. I think y'all know what payment is. I'm not going to insult your intelligence. Now, I think y'all know what a budget is, even though we haven't had a balanced one in the nation for, 8 years. I think all of you know what a budget is. You know, you've got $300 a month to spend on groceries. That's it. You don't go over that budget. If you want to buy more, then you got to cut somewhere else. Going to the movies, $75 a month. You got to take 25 from that budget and put into that item and put into your grocery budget, and you can spend $325. But you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, but you got a budget. You got to stick to that budget. And I'm still not getting it. It's not the day for this because I need to pull up. Hold on, I know what the problem is. I'm gonna have to go to Firefox. Firefox is what MyLab Plus likes. I have been asked about my Math 120 for the summer. I'm teaching one on this campus, and I'm teaching the other one online. How do you know which one's mine? Well, before the 10th, which is the time you register, before the 10th, my department head will put assign teachers to the classes. And when you pull up Math 120, it'll have McClure beside the online class that I'm teaching, and it'll have it beside the Anderson campus that I'm teaching. What?
There's only one.
Yeah, there's only one 120 at the Anderson campus anyway. I'm teaching that. Yeah. But the online, I think there's 4. And I'm teaching one of them. So my name will be beside one of them. And I'm teaching a 103. For those of you that have friends that want to take 103, I'm teaching at Polycom downstairs during the summer here at the Anderson campus, and the Easley campus, and the Pendleton campus. So, no, if you live in Easley, you can take it there. They're all one class. I'm doing it via Skype. So, if you know somebody that wants to take 103, tell them. Okay, now let's try it. I think it'll work now. Sorry about that. I forget sometimes. See? Sometimes you got to switch search engines. And of course, Internet Explorer is the one that sucks the most. That's why Tri-County Tech uses Internet Explorer, because it's the oldest and it sucks the most. So that's why Tri-County Tech uses it. What'd you say? I'm sorry. Yeah, Chrome and Firefox. Yeah. All right, chapter 4. This is the first section is kind of like insult your intelligence. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that, but I will tell you what you're responsible for as far as the test, like vocabulary words and stuff like that. You need to know what a budget is. You need to know what surplus is. You need to know what deficit is and all that good stuff. If we ever get there. They put so much junk before the chapter. Okay, here's the first. And I know a lot of people say, well, Hubert, why do they do this? Well, some people are just dumb, okay? And you think I'm crazy? Wait till you see people with $100,000 worth of credit card debt. Or you see somebody that's eating at Sullivan's, which is supposed to be high end, and they owe like 5 people money, or they buy 2 or 3 cartons of cigarettes and a tattoo and a cell phone, but they can't feed their kids.
I know somebody.
Okay.
It's my stepbrother.
Mhm.
He still lives at home on Sunday. And he passed a 11-month-old.
Mhm.
And I went over maybe like a week ago, and he was sitting in the living room playing his video game. And
How old is this guy?
he's maybe 21. Like I think he's maybe 21. And well, I'm not gonna say it, but hold on.
No, don't. Well, he may go to the LA. He may go to the LA Walgreens.
I was like, do you not feel weird sitting in their living room?
You're 21 years old playing a freaking video game.
And
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know there's a
he
good.
He said no, like just clear as like no, why would I feel weird?
Those are the same people that are protesting. Am I right?
And I saw him Saturday at the jockey lot spending money.
Okay, those are the people that this first chapter is for, okay? Okay, what do you need to do? Make a budget and don't overspend it, you know. But we're talking about, and look what they're using. What are they using for an example? Lattes. One of our biggest problems, I'm sorry, but one of our biggest problems in America is that place that sells, what's that place that sells? Oh, I wish it'd go away. I wish it'd go to Europe. That's where it needs to be. It needs to be in Europe. I ain't got no use for that place. Anyway, lattes. You go and spend $5 for a cup of coffee. Okay? Or wait a minute, a milkshake with some coffee in it. All right? You go and spend $5, just like $5 for a pack of cigarettes, and you take that $5 and you multiply it by 7, or multiply it by 6. That's $30. And then you take $30 and multiply it by 52 weeks. That's $520 times 3, which is $1,560 that you're spending on a milkshake every morning. Let that sink in for a little bit. Or a pack of Marlboro Reds. Go for the Marlboro Lights, okay? Not the Reds. Oh, might as well just cut the tip off and just do Camels. Oh, things are nasty. Anyway, use a little bit of common sense. There's nothing wrong with splurging. There's nothing wrong with buying something for yourself. But every day, especially when you owe 15 people money, and you have a truck payment or a car payment, or you've got a house payment, and your kids are running around in diapers and don't have clothes, and you're spending $5 on yourself every day. Video game. What does Paul say? When we grow up, we put away what? We put away childish things. There's nothing wrong with playing video games, but you don't sit at home all day and not do anything, and you are a loser. Sorry. And if the truth hurts, I'm sorry. If your brother's 21 years old and playing, he is a loser and not doing anything else. Here they tell you how to do a budget. I'm not even going there. Thank you. Yeah, there it is, right there. Yes.
On the radio this morning, they was talking about people who were spending how much to people. There's a website called www.adulting.com, and adulting is not a woman. I mean, they were saying like, how do you pick up your groceries? Like, it's a test, a survey to see what you're missing, and then they send you a acceptance letter, and you have to pay just to go to that store. Like an acceptance letter is
yeah.
You miss a question or something, then they'll send you a letter, which is basically a scam because you're sending your money to somebody.
Well, have you seen the pictures on Facebook that says how to change the water in your headlights?
Oh yeah, I've seen that. So like you believe that for a second and then I realized.
Yeah, how to change the water in your headlights, and there's all kinds of little pictures like that, and people actually write under there do I need to do this every week? So, yeah, not only has our society become stupid, or passive, it's become stupid. So, yeah, we have to. Now, I'm not going through this. I'm trying to get to the actual. Here's how you find out the cost of a college class. If it costs so much a week, and you go for 14 weeks. Do I need to show y'all that? If it costs $100 per week, and you go for 14 weeks, then that's $1,400. I'm sorry, I'm not going over that. Okay, that's 4A. Read 4A. I'm not going to go over that. 4B and 4C, I think they actually get into the simple interest. Yep. All right, now this is where we actually need to start taking notes. Simple interest. What is simple interest? Well, I like to tell people about a story. I had a neighbor, or not, my dad had a neighbor, and he wanted to buy, there was a piece of property. Let's see, our property like that, and there's a creek, and we got property over here, and this guy over here had a big piece of property right here, and we had a piece of property right here. About an acre, but we didn't want it. We don't care nothing about it because it's on, like, in the subdivision, and people put cows on it, so we don't care nothing about it. But this guy wanted it because there's a road that comes down through here, like this, like that. Dead ends right here, curve. And he wanted to buy this property so he could have access to his property from the back. And it was about an acre. And he came to my dad, and we've been neighbors for like 500 years. I mean, this family over here, me and my family over here, like 1800s. I mean, just old families. And my dad said, okay, I'll sell that 1 acre lot to you for $8,000 at 6% simple interest. Well, you don't say simple interest because that's weird. If I said, oh yes, I'm going to sell it to you 6% simple interest, you look at me like, what? At 6% interest for 5 years. Okay? And you pay however you want to pay. You want to pay by a month, by a year, or whatever. Now, simple interest is what you use for, I just say family and friends. And what do you mean, friends? Well, when you get over a certain amount, $100, $200, depends on your own personal preference, how rich you are. If $100 is a lot of money to you, then you need to put interest on it if you let somebody borrow it. But $8,000, I don't care who you are, $8,000 is a chunk of change. So for a family or a friend or a neighbor, you would put simple interest on it. Why do you put simple interest on it? Because you're a bastard? No. You put simple interest on it because you could be using that money. Okay? There's an old saying that says all you got to sell is your time, period. Well, when you're selling your money, you could be using that money to pay bills, you could be using that money to invest, you could be using that money to do a lot of things. All right? Fix your house up, fix your car up, buy something for the house, buy something for your family, that money is in your savings account or you're using it or whatever. You could be using that $8,000 because you're letting them borrow it is what you're doing. And the reason you put simple interest on it is just to compensate a little bit for what you don't have, that $8,000. Okay? Don't think of it like somebody buying a piece of property from you. Think of it as a loan. Because that's the way most people do simple interest. Yo, let me borrow $500. Okay, I'll let you borrow $500 at 10% interest. And you got to pay me by next month. Then you owe that person $500 and what? $50. And that's what you would do here. So you would take $8,000 and multiply it by 6%. Well, what's 8,000 times 1%? Or what's 1% of 8,000? Well, 10% of 8,000 is what? 800. So 1% of 8,000 is 80. Okay, so what's 80 times 6? $480. So $480 is added to the loan. So $8,480 is what the neighbor is buying that lot for. Now, let's say you wanted to do monthly payments. Then how many months are in 5 years? So take your handy-dandy calculator and divide 8480, divide that by, what I say, 60. And somebody give me that number.
100.
So my neighbor would pay $142 a month for 5 years. Now, after 5 years, would there be any kind of anything done, or no? The deed would be signed by both people and recorded at the courthouse, and it would be over. Okay, so there's no payout, there's no anything, but the interest is incorporated with what you owe. Okay, it's kind of like a car loan, kind of like. But we're going to find out. It's one of the eye-opening experiences in this chapter, along with the income taxes, is the amortization and how you get taken at the car lot and at the mortgage, home mortgage place. Okay? So this is a test question. Make sure you know how to do it. And simple interest, like I say, family, friends, neighbors, that's something you need to know, because you might use it one day, especially with family and friends and neighbors. Say again? Yep. And like I say, if $100 is if you loan somebody $100 and that's going to hurt you, then yes, you put 10% on it, or you put 20% on it. Now, loan sharks is above 20%. Don't go above 20%, or they can go to the pay me now check place down the orange and red check place, cashier check place. Yeah, that's the loan shark business. You stay away from those places, period. They'll take your lunch. Okay? Next, and credit cards too. You're going to find that out here in a few, well, in this chapter. You're going to find out how the credit cards are scammed too. A little brush up on powers and roots. I want you to look over that. I'm going to blow it up for you. This is not one of the things that you need to remember. It's not one of the formulas. It's just you need to, we've already covered a little bit of this, but down here, power rules, the quotient rule, as well as the product rule, make sure you make a note of that. And the power rule is right here. Make sure you make a note of that. And how to take the cube root or the square root of something. And that's just a little brush up right here of your pre-algebra skills, because we're going to be using the exponents with your formulas. And that's on page 198. Make sure you understand what a principal is, simple interest and compound interest. Simple interest, I just went over. Compound interest, we're going to go over next. And that's what the banks use. And we're going to go over that several times. Now I don't like the way the book writes the formula, because they write it again. I don't even use this. This is compound interest for interest paid once a what? Year. Write that down, but you need to highlight this once a year. Do you ever use it? No. But you need to write it, because sometimes in your homework you might be given one of these And you can't understand why it's only got the year instead of NT power. And 99% of your books, this is another dummy down because y'all are idiots. This is the only book that puts T in terms of Y, because you don't have sense enough to realize that T stands for time. So they dummy it down so you'll put Y in for year. I don't do that. Put a little T up there, because T is always in financial businesses and financial formulas. T is always in years. So 6 months would be what? 0.5 exactly, or half. 99% of the business books that you get will say to the NT power. N is the number of times it's compounded, which would be 1. T would be the number of years that you keep it in the bank, which would be, so that's why you don't have to have 2 formulas. But if you're in this class and you're with this book, you can't spell mom backwards, so they have to give you 2 formulas so you can understand it. I usually tell students to just ignore this one and just go to the one that actually matters. And as soon as I find it, it's usually a couple of pages back. Hold on, it's there, I know it is. There we go. There it is. There is the one you need to remember, and just forget the way this is written, because no book writes it like this. So I'm going to tell you how to write it. A is equal to P times 1 plus R over N raised to the NT power. That is the way it's written in 99% of the books that you come across. So if you're in the business field, if you're in an accounting field, if you work at a bank, you're going to see that. You're not going to see this trash. Okay? T is what we call the principal. Not PAL, PLE. PAL is your pal at school, right? That's principal. This is principal, like the money amount that you put into the bank. Initial amount. Initial amount of money. So let's say your grandmother, one of your 5 grandmothers die and leaves you $10,000, and you don't want to spend that money. You want to put it in the bank and figure out what you want to do with it. So you put it in the bank for a year. All right? T would be 1 year, and it's compounded 12 times a year. That would be N is equal to 12. The principal would be $10,000. That's what you put into the bank. Okay? Got it? Oh, I can understand that. I don't wear contacts, but I can understand because sometimes I sleep wrong on my neck. When I wake up, my neck is hurting, my head and neck is hurting from here up to here. And it hurts, so I can feel for you. But you work at the drug place, so you need some drugs when you go to work. R is equal to the interest rate. And it's usually in decimal form. 0.06 is equal to 6%. You can't use 6%. You have to change it into a decimal. N is the number of times the bank compounds the interest. I like to say number of times calculated. and T is equal to years that the bank keeps it in the savings, or, years you agree to keep it at the bank. Now, no matter where you go, all banks use some derivation of that formula. They may add to it, they won't subtract anything from it, but they'll add to it to give you a little bit more money, or to do what they want to do with it. There's another one that's called compounded continuously, which uses the E function. We're going to study that next. But I would say probably 75% of the banks that you deal with use some derivation of that formula. Others use continuous compound. Now, let's go over, if it's compounded n is equal to 12, that means it's compounded what? Monthly. You need to get used to these terms, because it's going to say in the book, it's going to say compounded monthly, and when it says that, that means you turn n is equal to 12. If n is equal to 4, what does that mean? Quarterly. If n is equal to 1, or annual. That's, that's when you use the other formula. In other words, they want you to learn 2 formulas instead of what? 1. It's always easier to learn 2 formulas than 1. Some of that new kind of what we call Common Core. The more formulas you use, the easier it is. And n is equal to 2. What is that? Semi-annual. Those are the most used. I can't think of anything else. They used to do daily. They don't do that anymore. Because what 2 businesses are not into charity? Vegas and banks. Okay? This number right here. This number right here will always be around what number? Well, look at the formula. You're taking your principal and you're multiplying it by a number. What number does the bank want to stay around? No, because you can't cancel out your money. Common sense time. Go into your common sense mode. What number do you think this one's going to hang around? Why 1?
Action.
Why? Why can't it be 3 or 4? Because in 4 times your money, you'd be, what would the bank be in? They'd be in giving away money. So why do they want it around 1? You're supposed to be answering.
They're making all the money.
Well, they're making a little bit of money, but they're not doubling.
Right.
So if you put 10,000, as long as they stay around 1, you're still going to get around $10,000 back. If you go to 2 or 3, then in 2 years you're going to have $20,000. In 3 years you're going to have $30,000. And does the bank work that way? No. So this number will always be around 1, which is the multiplicative by n. You can always multiply by 1 to get the same number. It may be 1.03, it may be 1.4. It may even go up as high as 1.6. But I doubt it's ever going to get above 1.8 because you get too close to 2. And the bank is not in the, not generosity business, but they're not in the philanthropy business. They don't give you money just because they like you. They want you to put that money in there. Why do they want you to put that money in the bank? So they can loan it to other people, and so they can invest it. So that's what you don't realize. They're not only loaning that money out, they're making money off of your, let's say your $10,000 you put in there. How many different ways can they earn money off that $10,000? About 3 or 4 different ways. One, they loan somebody out $5,000 to buy a car. They use part of your money to do that. They don't use all of it. They use maybe $1,000, and maybe 5 other people take the $1,000. And it's on paper. Remember, it's on paper. They're expecting John Smith to make what? Payments to replenish that $1,000 that you gave toward that car that you don't know about. Then what do? They still got $10,000 in there, but $1,000 of it's gone, but it's on paper. There's $10,000 still in the bank. So what are they going to do with that $10,000 that's still in the bank on paper? They're going to invest it in the stock market. I bet some of y'all didn't even know that. Yep. And let's say they get a stock and it makes 5 cents on the dollar. Then what did they make off of your $10,000? All of that. And they're putting it in their own little savings account called United National Bank Savings. And they're putting it in there to keep the lights on. And there's other ways they can make it through IRAs and other things like that. Usually, for every dollar that's put into a bank, there's probably 4 to 6 ways that bank is making money off that money that you put in a savings account, IRA, CD, anything. Okay? And they're using this formula to entice you to get that money in there. Now, let's use this formula, and I always like to use this formula in fun ways. Let's take and use my handy dandy whiteboard, if I can find it. And let's say that you win the lottery. And it's $15 million, but you take home $10 million. I played the lottery. And I always think what I do, first thing I do is go buy a bank. First thing I would do. I wouldn't buy a thing until I went by the bank. Because then I'd have to put it in about 15 different accounts, because you can't have $250,000 in each account. So I'd have to put it in like 50 different accounts. But the whole point is, I would put it in there because while I'm trying to figure out what to do with it, what will that money be generating? Interest. And then after about 2 or 3 weeks, I'd meet with an attorney/accountant. So that's the first thing you need to do after you put it in the bank. When you come into a lot of money, talking about $10,000 or more, you need to go speak to a accounting/attorney. They make them. They are out there. Accounting lawyers is what they are, or lawyers, accounting, whatever. And they'll tell you where to put that money so it can what? Make money for you, and Uncle Sam can't take all of it. So that's the second thing you need to do. Third thing you need to do is take a chunk of it out of the savings account, or before you put it in savings, take $1 million of it so you can just blow it. So get that out of the system. So let's say that you blow $15 million, you get $1 million, you take $1 million, put it in your savings account and blow it. And you got $10 million, and you're going to give it to the bank. Not give it to them, but you're going to let them. And they're going to say, okay, you're going to put $10 million. Cool. Let's go back to, when was it? Let's see, 2008, 10 years ago. 10 years ago, it's about 8%, wasn't it? What is it now? 0.02%. I put some money in a savings account last year. 0.02%.
You can almost make some from checking.
Yeah. It'd be easier for you just to go buy some land and let the market go up, or buy some cows and give them some hay and go sell them. And I asked the banker, I said, why? And this was 10 years ago. I said, no, this was just last year. It was 10 years ago, it was 8%. I said, why? I thought the economy was doing better. I said, why is it 0.02%? Because I was really discouraged. He said, GDP.
I said, what do you mean GDP? He said, GDP has been 1% for the last 8 years. He said, we're used to 3 to 4 and 5% GDP. China's at 6% GDP. But we're at 1% for the last 8 years. He said the interest rates, the reason the interest rates have gone down on houses is because that's why the interest rate, the feds have lowered the interest rates, so therefore the banks have to lower their interest rates. So that means that you get 0.02% on your money. That sucks. We're going to find out how much it sucks here in just a minute. 10 years ago, you get 8%. Let's see what 8%. Compounded monthly. And you're going to keep it in there for 5 years. So let's plug it in. A is equal to 10,000, 10 million times 1 plus 0.08 divided by what? 12 raised to the 12 times 5 power. And let's get our calculator out. Now, if you know how to use your calculator, you should not even have to write anything down on this problem. So I'm going to show you what I mean. Go ahead and get your calculators out. There's your calculator. And I'm going to do the middle first. So highlight this right here. Which way do we read? Left to right. So that means we're going to do the math from right to left. That's just a joke. You don't have to. You can do it however you want to, but I do it. I do the most math I do first, and that's the most right there. So 0.08 divided by 12. And then what am I going to do with that 0.006? I'm going to do what to it? Add 1. Miss Roebuck, you act like you had this before. Raised to the what? 60th power. And then multiply that by what? 10 million. Now, subtract 10 million because you're going to leave that 10 million in the bank. You made $4,898,457.08 in a 5-year period. Oops, sorry. That comes out to $979,000 a year. How many of y'all can live off that? But now that our economy is so good, let's put in 0.02%. Now you take that $10 million and R is equal to 0.02% because you got to move that decimal over 2 more places. So that's point what? 0.0002. Monthly and 5 years. Here we made $5 million, right? We made $5 million. These batteries are going dead. Now I want you to do that side. Tell me how much you made. There's a reason I'm doing this. Not that anybody's going to go out and win $10 million. But I'm trying to
This is what the banker told me, so I'm just relaying this to you. Ten years ago, and what'd you come out with here? I'm just going to just draw an arrow.
10,000.
So you made how much?
10,000.
$10,000. What do you think? You want to know the truth about the economy? You go talk to a banker or a builder. That's who you talk to. They'll tell you how the economy is doing. Who do you not listen to for the economy? The media. Well, they live in La La Land anyway. There's a little bit of a difference there. Now, take that same amount of money, take that same formula, and let's do something simple, like something you may run into when your grandma leaves you some money. Let's say $5,000, or they leave you their car, or they leave you their house, or whatever, and you sell it. Let's just do $5,000. So take your handy dandy calculator, and I want you to put $5,000 here, and use the same rate, because this is actual rate 10 years ago, and this is actual rate now within a year. I don't know what it is now, but somebody can go to the bank and check it for me. 8% here, and 0.0002 here, and let's do 5,000 and tell me what you get. You ever, huh?
Say, wow, you probably don't remember Reagan years.
I do.
People, investors, or people who put money in the bank, that was 12 to 15. If you do it in a CD, it's really high as 21%.
Yeah.
They were
21%. That was in the 80s.
on a CD, of course.
But that's when everybody was putting their money in the bank. Now, have you heard in the media when people say small businesses are holding on to their cash? You ever heard that? Why? Because they're making just as much money holding it in their pocket than they are doing anything with it. Yes, sir. Well, yeah, stock market. That's what you're doing. You're playing the stock market, and you're paying somebody to invest it, and they have a formula, an algorithm that if it drops a certain percentage, then it'll hold. That's the thing about what you're talking about. There is kind of a fail-safe, but it's not. You may lose some money, but you're not going to lose like all of it. When that algorithm kicks in, it has to drop a certain percentage rate depending on what company you're with. Most of the time, it's 10 to 20%, and when it drops 10 to 20%, boom, it locks, and it doesn't let that go. It doesn't let that stock drop anymore. In other words, they either sell it or whatever I don't know. So they sell it and then get your money back, and then they reinvest it in another company or whatever. They will not let it go below a certain percentage. You ever seen that guy on TV? He's bald-headed, and he says, "I know how hard you work for your money," and he says, "And you want the most for your money, and I will make sure that you don't lose any money." That's what you're talking about.
Tell Greece that.
Yeah, Greece went bankrupt. All right, what'd you get at 5,000 at 8%? So you make about $2,500. So grandma left you some money And 10 years ago, or don't even put 21%, like he said, in the 80s, 21%, you make all kinds, you make double that. All right, because that's close to 10%, 21% be double that, so you're probably talking about another $6,000. What'd you make during our fine economic years now? I'm sorry, what? Now again, the reason for me showing you this is to show you what a true economy doing good does. And the best way to know that is through a bank. And this is at 1% GDP, 1 to 2% GDP. And what does GDP stand for?
Gross national.
This is basically the gross national product. They changed it into something else. And this, I want to say 4 to 6%. Because during the 80s, I think we were at 6%.
Yeah.
That's what China is at right now. And they, 1 to 2% is not my numbers. 1 to 2% is USDA. That comes off the USDA debt clock. So that's why you don't make any money putting your money in the bank anymore. That's why the banks are struggling to, and that's why they're also clamping down on a lot of people that's on payments, because they are scared to death. The banks are. Now you know why. Now there's another formula. Let's see what time is it. There's got 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and show you this next formula, and this next formula is just like this formula. It's that banks use it because it's a whole lot easier to use than this one, because it takes out 2 or 3 of the numbers, and it's called continuous interest. Let me show you what that looks like. Oops. I'm on the wrong. Okay.
This is like end of day stuff.
What?
End of day,
Yeah.
midnight.
Yep. Let me find the page that's on. I'll go over annual percentage yield. I'll go over that I'll go over that later. There we go. Continuous. And the only difference is instead of raising it, there it is, write that down. A is equal to P times E to the N to the RT power. Like I say, don't write it like Leon, because you'll never see it written like that again. I'm gonna write it. Hold on. Because I want you to be prepared to see it. You're not going to see this on an entry exam. You're not going to see this on a standardized test. You're not going to see this anywhere. You're going to see A is equal to P E R T. So now take that same $5,000 and plug it in. Well, how do you plug it in? Well, on your handy dandy calculator, I just have to bear with me a minute. I have to get everything situated. Right here, look around your natural log and your log key. Usually it's a second function. Okay? Not EE. EE is scientific notation. On your TI 30s, EE should be your scientific notation. E is used, well, they're showing you what E is equal to, but anyway, here you can type in A. You know, I know how to be a millionaire. If I could just invent a little cap, put on my head, and it do what I think on this board, I wouldn't have to teach the rest of my life. But it would also go all over the place sometimes. People brain like mine, I guess, I don't know. P is 5,000. E, and let's say the rate is 0.08, and you put it in for 5 years. So you would type in A is equal to 5,000, and then second function, where those of you that have a second E, which would be natural log, we'll put natural log right there, but for her, it would be second function, and then it's going to ask you what? And then you would put 0.08 parentheses times, or type it in, 5 times 8 is what, 40, so that'd be what, 4.0? So you could just put 4.0 up here.
You can point for it, right?
Yeah, 0.4, because 5 times 8 cents is 40 cents, yeah. So it'd be 0.4. So you would type in 0.4 and then hit enter. Somebody tell me what you get. 70 what? 74.59. 12 cents. Now what did you make with the 5,000 at 8% interest with compound? So you see why banks use it. Banks use it because it's less calculating for the computers or whatever, and it'll give you about the same amount, if not just a little bit more. Continuous interest gives you a little bit more than compounded interest. Just a little bit.
So this is continuous.
Yeah, continuous compounding. Sorry. So what you need to work on for homework, and I'm going to stop it here, is you need to work on 4.1, which is reading, and make sure you know definitions, and make sure you know what a budget is, make sure you know what bills are. I'm not going to go over that. Make sure you know how to use these 3 formulas. Simple interest, which is the first part of 4.2, compound interest, and continuous compounding. That's your homework. 4.1, 4.2, and all you all you students that haven't taken the test, wait until 11 o'clock, 11:30, and wait till all the kids are running around, and wait till the cat's running around, and the dog's running around, and then hopefully your computer will explode. All right, I'm going to shut her down, and I will see y'all. Let me get the roll right quick, because I want to make sure everybody's here. And then